Hello, my name's Paul the Physio, and if you've got pain on the bottom of your foot, this video is just for you. So the most common cause of pain on the bottom of the foot is pain in the plantar fascia or plantar foot pain. Used to be called plantar fasciitis. We've dropped that term because we're not certain that there's any inflammation there, and that's what the itis implies. But if first thing in the morning or after resting in a chair and you start walking, you get lots of pain around the heel and then running up towards the big toe or the middle toes, you've probably got plantar foot pain. So the first thing we want to do is just work out some of the soreness in the bottom of the foot, and the Tend Deep is a perfect tool for that. So I'm going to switch it on to level 2 or 3 initially, and then I'm going to just start by placing the vibrating end onto the sore tissue, and I'm going to make a few passes through there. And the thing we want to think about as we're doing this is if we add a bit of movement in the toes at the same time, then we're getting the vibration coming in from the outside and we've got movement happening on the inside, and that will often increase the amount of relief we can achieve within a couple of minutes of just gently buzzing the bottom of the foot. So the toes move in and out of extension as the tool passes in and around the sole of the foot. Looking for the sore bits. When you find a bit that's particularly sore, be prepared to stay on it for 20 to 60 seconds and just jiggling around and moving the toes, looking for those nice feelings of relieving the soreness that you feel through there. So tend to directly to the bottom of the foot is a great idea if you're suffering with that plantar fasciitis type pain. The other place we want to really check is underneath the big toe. A lot of people will get stiff into this movement of big toe extension. And if your toe doesn't come up into a 90-degree position or at least 60 degrees, then working specifically on that is a good idea. And the lovely thing about the Tend as a tool is it's so gentle and the vibration is so short that it's easily tolerated right around the lines of the actual joint itself, where most vibrating tools will just feel like far too much. So I want to work directly underneath the knuckle of the big toe joint, where we've got tendons, joint material in the sesamoid bones, so tiny little spacer bones underneath the big toe here, and they can often become quite sticky, and if we're losing the ability to extend the big toe, that's just more load going back into the plantar fascia, kind of adding to its woes. So clear out underneath the big toe, very often really sensitive in the bit between the knuckle of the big toe and the tip of the big toe. So just around those middle joints there, get the tendon there. Get through the hypersensitivity by gentle stimulation, and then we can start to add a little bending back of the toe while the vibration's going on. So underneath the big toe, super important. Directly wherever you get your pain, super important. And then know that really your plantar fascia is a kind of continuation of the Achilles tendon. So a lot of people who feel the pain underneath will also be pretty tender around the Achilles tendon. So don't miss out kind of buzzing through that Achilles region as well as kind of treating the bottom of the foot. So you do a bit of that work, you make it feel nice, but we also want to think about the active rehabilitation side of what's necessary. So in some way, shape or form, sat on the edge of the bed or getting down on the floor, it's a good idea to give the actual plantar fascia a direct stretch. So you're going to hold your heel with one hand, you're going to bend back your big toe with the other hand, and then you're just going to crank the bottom of the foot into a big manual stretch like so. And there's a decent bit of evidence that doing this before you get up and walk to try and get rid of that sharp pain on the first few steps is a really, really good idea and will help with the speeding up the recovery of your plantar fascia pain. So drill number 1, give it a good old stretch first thing in the morning. The internet will tell you lots about calf stretching. Really, one of the most overrated exercises you can do for plantar fascia. A better idea is to work on the whole kinetic chain. So into this down dog position, and then extending the knee as I reach the heel down and doing that one leg then the other. That's generally a better way to stretch out the soreness than just trying to push a wall over. So we can stretch the whole kinetic chain down the back of the leg, or we can stretch nice and specifically into the bottom of the foot. But stretching of the calf muscle, kind of overrated. The last drill we want to be able to do is a heel raise with the toes in extension. So